Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So I am not a professional vlogger by any means, and so you're gonna get in my t-shirt, my husband's old t-shirt, low quality, non-edited, no makeup, hair's a mess vlog. So I kind of want to do like a mukbang kind of, but not really because you can't see the food and it's not even that much food. I'll show you what I'm eating. So with sorry if the fans are too much in the background. With mukbangs, I feel like people normally have like all this food, but not today. That may be me, or maybe trying like a variety of food later on, but right now I'm just eating the broccoli chowder type soup from Panera Bread out of a bread bowl. So hope everybody's doing well, but just wanted to like document my experience and what happened over the last couple days. So I have fibromyalgia. If you didn't watch my day in the life of someone in a fibromyalgia flare, and my stomach also is very irritable a lot, and like, so I went and saw a gastro doctor about a month ago, and they they wanted me to get a colonoscopy and an endoscopy. I don't know how to technically pronounce it. And so it was scheduled for today, 12/12/2019. And so my stupid butt, because I never prepare for anything, didn't read the instructions on what like I needed to do before, like the days before the colonoscopy. And so I read it like just in time, thank God, because if you cancel more than 3 days in advance, less than 3 days in advance, then there's a $250 cancellation fee. Not through your insurance, just the fee billed to you. And I was like, that ain't happening, honey. So I get the instructions, and you have to be on a low fiber diet for at least 1 day ahead of time, or 2 days ahead of a time. So, and bear with me because I did have the procedure today, and I had anesthesia, and they kind of gave me a higher dose because I was having a lot of anxiety. So even though I feel okay, like I remember that they told me, you're gonna feel like you're okay, but you're not fully gonna be okay. So still kind of coming off of it, but I feel mostly normal, mentally anyways. And so 2 days before the procedure, I started the low fiber diet, which I work in a call center type setting, and I don't eat during the day because they only give me a 30-minute break and for lunch, and I just can't like get really a good meal during that time. So I just normally, like, I'll eat crackers maybe in between calls or something, but I don't eat like a full regular lunch or meal. So I didn't eat anything on Tuesday, and my procedure was today, Thursday. So I come home Tuesday night, and my husband made me a burger, and you can't have like pickles, and you can't have like, I don't know, just a lot of stuff you can't have. So it was just like a plain burger, ketchup, mustard, cheese burger, obviously. And then on Wednesday I was on a full liquid diet, and so that was horrible. I was on a liquid diet a few years ago when I had weight loss surgery, and it's so hard to like not eat. I know, like, first world problems, but like I think like your mind also like realizes you can't eat, so it like makes things worse for you, if that makes sense at all. And so then yesterday, Wednesday, I was supposed to start the bowel prep. Oh my gosh, I like don't even want to talk about it. Horrible. I'm trying to see if I still. So this is what I was given. Oh, yeah, review. No, oh my gosh, my hair looks crazy. I'm a mess. But you know what? This year coming up, 2020, and just going forward, because I don't make like yearly goals. I make like changes whenever the time of life I'm in. And I really noticed that like I care about what people think again. I'm starting to get like back into where I'm controlling it, letting it like define me, not sharing my story in my life. I don't care anymore. And I really want to work on that going forward. So this is what I took, and you get 2 of these. Make sure my name's not on it, or birthday or address. Nope. Okay. 2 of these little 6-ounce bottles of liquid, and you get this cup that has, excuse me, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. Okay, this cup that has a 16-ounce line here. So you fill it up with the 6 ounces, and then the rest you fill up with water. So you pour this in. And this tasted like grape. I don't know if there's other flavors, but it was disgusting. The grape like taste doesn't even help because it's just so strong tasting of like medicine, just straight medicine. It's like a super strong laxative is ultimately what it is. So I was supposed to start at 6 p.m. but I was at work and I got home around 9, and like my husband mixed it up for me, and then I just like sat there and stared at it for a couple hours because I just was like dreading it, because my best friend who had it before, and I remember when she went through the bowel prep and how horrible it was. Also, just gonna give a warning now, if you don't like talking about bowel movements, or this is kind of weird that I'm sitting here with my dinner in front of me like talking about this, but whatever, it's life. So my best friend had it before, and I remember her text me like, oh my god, like I can't stop like crapping, like shitting everywhere, and like this is hell, and like I've heard stories, but like it didn't register to me like that what I was having is like the same process I had to go through that they went through. Or you always like think, oh, I'm gonna be different, you know, like, you know, whatever. And so I started taking it around 10, finished around like 11. Right away, once I like took the last drop, boom, go to the bathroom. And within like 1 to 2 going to the bathrooms, I was cleared out. It just started coming out like yellow. And so fast forward, I like go to the bathroom every few minutes for hours. Finally fall asleep for like maybe an hour or 2, probably not even. And so then I have to wake up at 7 a.m. to start the second bowel movement. Second pre-bowel, whatever thing. So I start the second bottle. Well, I had already been like, so like this was like 12 hours at this time, straight just diarrhea for like hours. And it only like stopped for like an hour or 2 and then went straight back to it. So one of my suggestions for anyone going through this is like toilet paper can, if you keep just using toilet paper, can end up hurting your bum. So straight from the beginning, I just was using wipes, which I think is better than toilet paper anyways. Like, why do we don't use toilet paper on babies' butts? Why do we use toilet paper on us? But anyways, so I used wipes the whole time, which I really feel like helped. And then, so I take the bowel prep, the second dose, and I'm just like fully at this point just shitting out acid. Like, it's bad. And that's when the burning and everything starts. Well, this fast forward, we need to leave at like 10 a.m. to get there at 10:30. My procedure's set for 12:30. And it's like almost 10 o'clock, and I'm sitting here still on the toilet. Like, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. So I call the nurse's line, and I'm like, look, I don't even know if I'm going to make it to the hospital, more or less, like, through the procedure. You know, like, your fear of, like, oh my God, like, he's going to poke in and then, like, you know what I mean? So, she's like, no, don't worry about that. On the end of the camera, there is, like, a suction. I'm like, oh, okay, great. That, like, made me feel so much better. And then I was, like, Googling everything, watching YouTube videos, people's experiences about it. And one thing I saw on Google is that you're not supposed to have nail polish. So then I'm like, great, I did all this bowel prep, and now, like, my nail polish is going to make it so that I can't have it done. And I asked about that too, and they said no, it's fine. Acrylics, light colors are fine. So if you have that question, you should be fine, but call your doctor. Everybody's different. In my other procedures, which I've never had a colonoscopy before, so this was my first one, but other surgeries I had, I couldn't have nail polish or toenail polish on because they needed to see to make sure you're, like, getting oxygen or whatever. So anyways, let me take a bite of this real quick. Yeah, it's getting cold. I'm almost done with it though. Okay, so what am I talking about? Yes, so we leave. My mom is driving me, and we get there about 10:30, and right away I have to go to the bathroom. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Like, because I called, which I'm just jumping around everywhere, but before I called the nurse's line in the morning, before I was going to go, I also had called the emergency, not emergency line, but like I guess emergency line for my doctor's office at like 6 in the morning before I had to start taking the second dose. And I was like, listen, I've been going straight for like hours at this point, and it's all running clear. Like, excuse me, do I really have to go through like a second prep? Like, I hardly ate anything the last 2 days. I haven't ate in over a day. Like, nothing's coming out, and I really just think I should stop. Nope, do as a doctor recommended, you know. He didn't seem really compassionate. He was just like, follow doctor instructions. He wouldn't even really let me explain everything. So whatever, I took the second one. Alright, so going back to, I get to the hospital. They check me in. They get my, you know, my vitals and everything like that. And then we have about an hour, and I have the worst anxiety with IVs and needles. I don't know if you'll be able to see in this light, but I have a bruise. Yeah, you can see it, both of them there. And then I have a bruise here, and now I have a bruise here. This one was from where I went to get an MRI about a week ago. And my vein collapsed, and she kept pushing through it and was moving it all around. Like, it's ridiculous where the entrance is to where she, like, that's, so, like, I just have the worst anxiety with needles. I didn't before, but, like, I've got really sick in the last year or two, and now that I'm getting poked constantly and, like, having all these horrible experiences with phlebotomists and nurses who don't know what they're doing, it's, like, almost created like a PTSD feeling for me, where like right, and even as I talk about it, it like bothers me, but like right when the nurse goes in, I get like super nauseous right in the moment, and it's just, and I sit there and I think to myself, like, come on, Hannah, you're 27 years old, like, why are you being a baby about a needle? But like, you know, anxiety, you can't be hard on yourself. You just have to work through the emotions, do the best you can. So it ended up being fine. She got it with one prick, which was good. We didn't have to dig. She stuck in. I was like, please don't dig. So anyways, then I'm sitting there for about, I don't know, 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. Doctor comes in, tells me that with the colonoscopy, they're looking for allergies. And I had the endoscopy, I'm not saying that right, but they went down my throat and my bottom, same, like, consecutively. So, anyways, he, you know, when I researched online, because like, dude, I was like, I'm not doing this. I almost was like, screw the $250 fee. I don't care. I can't do this bowel prep and this just waterfall of diarrhea. Like, I was like, nah. This is so weird to be putting on the internet. But anyway, so I was like considering the $250 fee to cancel it. And I Googled like, what can they find with these two different procedures, and it just was like cancer. And I was like, I'm not going through all this to find out if I have cancer or not. Like, that's very black and white to me. Like, I've been having irritable bowel and messed up stomach for years. Like, this, I need to figure out so much more than just cancer. So I was kind of going into this like with a bad mindset. So when the doctor came into, fast forward back to me at the hospital, when the doctor came in before the procedure, he was like, you know, we'll be able to tell if you have any allergies, and like he just started listing off all this different stuff, more than just like cancer. And he wasn't even looking for, excuse me, cancer necessarily. So right before he's like, okay, we're gonna come get you soon, I had to go to the bathroom again. And I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, if you've had a colonoscopy before and you've had straight runs the whole entire time, like, comment below, because it's been over 24 hours now. It's not frequently every hour now, but every time I go to the bathroom, every couple hours, it's still like just yellow. And I ate like after the procedure too, and it's just still just, anyways. So then they take me back, and it took about an hour, which is what they thought, so that was good. And then I remember like telling the anesthesiologist my high has wore off, because they gave me a little bit before they rolled me back, so I was having really bad anxiety. And she's like, oh, you'll feel it in a second. And so anyways, and then I thought, like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna close my eyes, because they put like this mouthpiece for the part going down my throat and my mouth. So I'm just sitting here and my tongue's like sticking out of it kind of, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna close my eyes until you are ready. Well, then next thing I know, I wake up and my throat, and it still like hurts, like right here, hurts so bad. I remember like waking up, like my throat, and my mom's coming over, the doctor's coming over, and they're like, all right, let's get you up. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, they didn't give me any time to like grasp everything, which was kind of weird, but I don't know. So I'm just like crying because I'm like out of it, and I was like, they didn't tell me they were like ready or gonna start or count down. So I was kind of like just freaking out. And then I asked the doctor, I was like, so what can I eat? And he was like, anything you want. So my mom and I went to Chick-fil-A, and I got some macaroni and a Chick-fil-A sandwich, which I just ate a little bit of, and a milkshake. And then I came home and took a nap, and still again was having stomach stuff. So here are a few pictures. The warning, this is some pictures. I'm just going to show it real quick. There we go. So he gave me like all of this information, and like those are pictures of like me, my insides, which is weird. So he goes, everything looks normal, but you have a little bit of redness at the top of your stomach. He did like 7 or 8 biopsies while I was in there. Took out some, you know, to run biopsies anyways. And we'll hear back in about a week. So I'm interested to see, you know, what he found. There are a lot of notes that he's speculating on what may be going on, but it's not confirmed, so I don't want to go over any of that yet. But yeah, so that was my experience having a colonoscopy and dust, whatever, down my throat, up my bum. The nurses were really nice, and the bowel prep definitely is the worst. The actual procedure, if they knock you out, it's nothing. Like, and then like I said, my throat hurts really bad. Eating bread right now like kind of hurts, so I'm just trying to stick to like the soup, and then of course drink, because you got to counteract all of the runs. And then my stomach isn't too bad, so I feel okay with my fibromyalgia and everything, on how like my heart rate, my mom said at one point when I got back out, because I was so anxious, was like 110. And I didn't take my pain medicine last night, so yeah, I pretty much know that I'm going to be in a flare tomorrow, which I'm mentally preparing for. So we'll make it through, because that's all we can do, and you just got to take the waves as they come. So anyways, that's my story on what happened today, and depending on the results, I may update you guys. My YouTube channel is really just me wanting to talk and share my story, my journey, and everything I go through medically or otherwise. Right now it's more focused on medically, because this has been the year 2019 of doctors for me. I literally go to a doctor 1 to 3 times a week, yeah. So it's been rough. I was on a medical leave for a while. It's just been crazy. So here's to hope in 2020 we get some answers, we get more stability, and many blessings to come. So again, we just ride the waves as they come and do what you can. Alright, leave me a comment if you'd like. Again, I'm just posting videos. Whoever watches, watches. Whoever don't. But I appreciate you sticking around if you did, and hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Bye!